Greetings, welcome back to PinkOddBird. Today, if this looks like a familiar sight to you, that's probably because it is. I mean, probably for two reasons. Number one, you probably have a load of these freaking strips of paper. And two, because we've already attacked these before on my channel. But guess what? It's like never ending. They just don't stay away. It's like the cat came back and he couldn't stay away. Like, it's eternal. So today what I did was I pulled out I pulled out as many of these as I could. There's divided up into like piles. So I did a pile of solid cardstock strips. I did a little pile of coffee stained and dyed strips. And then I did a little pile of decorative strips. My method of attack today is I thought that it might be easy to do this like strategically. So number one, I pulled out a small subset of supplies or tools, I should say, that I plan to use that will help us along the way. And I think the key to this is not pulling out too many tools, because then what? Then what? We get inundated. That's right. We don't want to do that to ourselves. So what I have pulled out, I don't really know what I'm making. Obviously, at the beginning of this video, you can see everything is still here. So we're just going to do stuff as we go. And I think the best plan of attack is just going to be to go, like to do it. What I pulled out for help is I've got some of my sprays here, some spray dyes. I also got a few little stamps out that will maybe help us. I also pulled out a couple of fun distress inks. I grabbed these. I don't know if we'll use them, but we'll see. I pulled out a few of my stencils and a couple of punches. So punches, stencils, punches, stencils, inks, stamps, sprays, crayons. I think these are the things that if you've got one or some or all of these, just pull out a couple, and hopefully this is going to help us ease our journey along. I guess I'm going to try my very, if I can make something out of all these today in this video, I think we might just be done with ephemera for these books that we're working on because this is a lot. Also, we might have to be wrapping up on ephemera soon because I really have to get moving on into other projects. So I need to get these books done. So, but I hope that you guys are going to join along with me today. If you do, I hope that you're able to bang out some really good pieces of ephemera out of your stashes. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, you guys. Oh, I think I forgot one thing. Yes, a pair of deckled scissors. I got these just in case. I'm not sure, but if you've got punches, you don't need the scissors. If you don't have punches, you can use the scissors. Okay, so I think I'm going to set the dyed pieces apart. These are like dyed on like just standard copy paper. And I have a different plan for those, like when the time comes. So that's going to be set apart. I think the main basis is going to be this pile of plain ones. And it's also my biggest pile of scraps. And then my second tier is going to be the decorative pieces. So to get started, I think I'm just going to, I think the only thing that I really need to pay attention to for this is I need to make sure that whatever I'm making is not going to be over the size of my page for my journals. So again, these are all probably like 65-pound cardstocks. They are durable enough to stand on their own as tags. You can also back them. So like if you want to double up like some of your cardstock to make them like even more sturdy, you can do that. Like that's one way that you can get a sturdy base, tag base. So let's just go. I'm not even going to think. I don't know what I'm making, you guys. I have no clue. I'm just going to start gluing stuff together. So here we go. We're going to see what we get. And then once we have the bases done, we'll move into the decorative pieces, and then from there we'll move into the coffee stained pieces. So I'm just going to glue stuff together and make shapes. We're just going to do stuff. I don't know what we're doing, but we're doing stuff. So I guess that counts for something. Okay, this one's definitely sturdy enough to be on its own. I might make that, let that be a skinny tag, which is fine. This one here, maybe we can, let's see, maybe we can make this one into a little pocket, perhaps. A little skinny pocket. And then how about for here, why don't we, let's see, this probably should be backed on something else sturdy. I don't know. I know all of our sizes and stuff are going to be all different, so that is going to make it a little tricky. So what we can do is just fold it back onto itself. All right. And what I can do is use a piece of my black cardstock, give it a punch, like that. We can make it into a little pocket. So let's glue this piece down. And actually, you know what, I'm going to wait because I want to do the background with this on like some distress ink or spray or something. So I'm not going to put that little pocket down yet, but I am going to just set this off to the side for now. All right, let's see, what else? I've got this piece here. I need to see how wide some of these are because they might be too wide for the book. So a little over 4.5 is okay. This is a nice sturdy piece. So I think, oh, somebody's car. I'll just cut this down into a tag shape. Set that off to the side. I need that. I'm going to try and keep my scraps in one place. Good luck me. I'm going to fold this piece in half, and this is going to become its own little tag. Yeah. And let's glue that down. I probably will be stitching on all of mine, but if you're not stitching on yours, you want to make sure you get a good layer of glue so that your edges stay down. All right. Oh. And I'm just going to do this part as we go, just to get that step out of the way. Okay. Let's see here. I've got this gray piece, which is kind of sturdy. It does have the brand label thing still on there, so I'm going to snip that off. And I think I'm going to, well, how big is this? It's a little over 5 inches, so maybe I'll cut this down to like 2 3/4-ish. That sounds good. And let's take one of these a little bit smaller ones, like this. And actually, these are really sturdy. I should probably use these for something else. Here's one. And we'll glue it down like on here, like that. And I'm only gluing to the edge because it's going to be like a pocket. All right. Snip that. Cut. Cut. All right. So for this one, I'll just do the same thing. And if you want, since, I know, I guess it is a little tricky, like for those that you do want to add like punched out pieces to, you might want to just go ahead and actually I might just go ahead and get that one glued down. But see, that one's a little bit more tricky because I want to decorate it. I just don't want to stop to do the mixed media part right now. I'll just leave it sitting out. Trying to make this as efficient for myself as possible. There, here, and here. All right, not bad. What is this piece? Oh, I was doubling it, so let's cut this down now into 2 so that it can be 2 tags. Or actually, you know what? I think what I'll do is cut this down to about 8.5, and we will actually use this one as a belly band. All right. It's already getting cluttery. Okay, this piece here, I might fold it like this. And maybe we could just make this like a folding tag, like a side opening tag, so there's journaling space inside. Okay, so that's that. And then I wonder how big this piece is. Okay, so this craft piece is also big enough to make a belly band, so I'm going to use this piece for, oh my gosh. I'm going to use this piece to make a belly band also. So I'm just going to fold it in half. And I will give this a little glue. Okay. Next, let's see, we've got this little crafty piece here. I don't know, I have this piece. I don't need to keep this little strip necessarily, but we can always layer these 2 pieces. That way you have 2 colors. On your tag. And I am going to try and keep cutting these as I go. I just feel like it's going to streamline the next step for me a little bit easier. So cutting as I go. It also helps me not like stop to like overthink like what's happening. I might leave that one as a square, maybe. It could always be like a pocket on a page too. So we'll leave that and see what we do. So this piece, we've got, I have this like file folder piece, I guess. Maybe these can go together and be like a side pocket on the page, maybe. And, or actually this could also be like a belly band pocket. Yeah, it's tall enough to be a belly band, so that would be kind of cool. Cool, okay. So that's how many belly bands there? 3. I think we might need to do about 3 more. Okay. Not too shabby. Let's see. We can do maybe like a belly band tag maybe. So let's back this to make it a little bit more sturdy. Well, this piece here is sturdy, and we can do it like that. Okay. All right. And I will simply add some glue to the edges. Pop this down. Cool. And I think this approach of just like picking something up and just doing something with it is great, because it really helps like not to like get yourself frozen. We don't want to be frozen. Let's see. I've got this piece here. I guess this could also be a belly band. So let me get this folded. Cool. I think I've got 4 belly bands now. I think I might need 2 more. Okay, let me get this out of the way. So I've got this little square. I guess this could be maybe like a little pocket in the corner of a page also. I might also grab my corner rounder once we get to that phase of it. Let's see. Maybe we can kind of glue some of these together to make a little bit wider base. Or actually I could use this as another belly band, but let's just try this first. Glued. And so to make it a little bit more sturdy, I've got these long strips of this other thinner cardstock. We'll glue these down. And our last one here. Cool. And then I'm going to cut this down into like halves. Okay, so that's one. So those are those pieces. Like I said, I don't know what exactly we're going to do, but right now what I do know is we're making bases. This piece, I'll just leave it as is, maybe a little corner pocket. I have this pink piece here. I wonder if this will be big enough to make a belly band. And it looks like the answer is yes. So I'll use this to make my last 2 belly bands. Got those. So let's take maybe this piece here. We can make it a pocket, and we can do a little. Let's just cut across with the deco scissors. And I'm going to glue this down. I lost my glue. Oh, there it is. Here. this one, let's do maybe this color. Oh, it's barely the right size too. That was perfect. Okay, let's cut this one down. And we'll glue this one on down. Cute. Okay. Got more of these. Let's see. You know what I think also maybe, let's see. Ooh, there's so many. Let's do this one as a little side pocket, maybe. Pocket on a pocket. And I'll just cut this down. And then do the same on this one. Like so. Alright, and maybe I'll do this side edge so it also kind of goes with it. There's that. So here we've got this little piece. Maybe we can make this like a little tuck spot like that, maybe. Why not? Okay. Let's clear this down again. I know I'm going a little fast, but this is going to take a while, and I'm trying to have as much of it on camera for you guys as I can, but I just don't think that this is going to be possible. It's just too much. Okay, so here let's cut this down. And we'll give ourselves a little tag. Okay. Oh, finally a different color. Okay, let's see. Do I need to take this off? Oh, cool. Cool. Remove that. And got this yellow pocket tag. Actually, do it like that. All right, cool. Let's do, oh, you know what? I should get my little circle punch so we can do notches also. All right, I can't find my circle punch, but I do have this. So I'm gonna make a little notch like that. And cut this piece down. Feel good. There we go. Oh, that's cute. That's perfect. So we'll glue this down. Okay. Now what I think I might do is, for some of these lighter pieces of paper that I have off to the side, like I have some pretty light paper, I might start using some of those from that pile to get some decoration onto the base. So let's, because I have so many of these black pieces, it's going to be overwhelming if I continue to go with just the solid black. In this book, in these particular books, I should say. No such thing as too much black, but crikey. You know what, this one I glued it crooked because I didn't know there were two pieces on that. So let me cut this down. So I've got that down. What can I do with it? I could add it to here. Pocket on the side, but I would need to stitch it down so that it stays down. Do-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, that would be a cool tag. Okay, let me go stitch around this piece here so I can glue it down. Okay, so now we can glue this piece down as a pocket. And I'll probably stitch over it again anyway. But for now, okay, we're making good progress. These are our bases so far. They've gone from scraps to the base of what's going to be our tags. I'm going to keep going for a little bit off the camera. I know you guys like to see the whole process, whole process, but this is going to take me a little while. So I'm going to work on this for a little bit and I will be right back. Okay, awesome. So I found this piece of gray paper in my stash and I thought I had an idea about making these strips like even skinnier. So I thought that I would come in and cut them down into even smaller strips, like varying sizes, anywhere from like 1/2 inch, maybe a little smaller than 1/2 inch, something like that, in that range, because I had a vision in my brain. I had a vision. So I'm just going to get all of these, cut down just a few. I don't think I need that many, depending on the size of the paper that you use and how much spacing you're going to put in between each strip, I guess. That's just how you can judge it. But I know it seems a little bit ironic to have these strips that we're working with and trying to get rid of and make more strips, but I think it's going to make sense. So to do this, all I'm going to do is just start placing these down diagonally, and once again, I'm not going to glue full to the edge because I want to stitch around this once I'm done and ready for the stitching phase. So, and the reason why I do that is just because I don't want glue to gum up my machine. And then to help me get like a better visual of like how my progress is going on this particular layout, I'm just trimming the edges down as I go, because as you can see, it just looks so much better. Like you can really see what's happening with what you're doing. So I thought this was just a nice way to just to be able to use these strips, and it gives it a cool background. You can even mix and match the strip paper strips that you use, but I thought that the black would contrast nicely with this metallic gray scrapbook paper. I think it was perfect. So I'm just going to continue adding these, and then of course, as always, you can add like a main focal image on top of this, or you can just leave it like how it is, because it also looks cool this way too. It's really up to you. So this is how it's looking so far. I think it's turning out so good. I love the way that it's looking. I think this is a really great background. You could also just, I don't know, you can do many things. You can add a vertical pocket to this, and I think that would look also really cool. So it would be like shutters as the background and then your plain vertical pocket. I don't know, very cute. The next thing I did was further cut some of the strips down into like little rectangles and squares so that we can use those for hinges later. And then I also used my handy dandy punch board to make these file folder tabs, and when the time comes we can just cut these down individually and use these as like little toppers or embellishments on tags. So next I want to make some of these little banner flag things, and I thought that they would look really cool to kind of like stack them together, like offset a little bit and turn them into like either just a decoration or like a tuck spot at the top of the page. And I used to make these a lot all the time, like many years ago. And me personally, I originally saw them on Crafty Irina's channel. So I always love making those little banners. Crafty Irina, shout out. Next, I want to take some of these little strips and I want to use my puncher to punch out some different shapes. And I know in the beginning I said we were only going to take out a couple of supplies or tools, but I started thinking like having a different idea of what we could do with these punch outs. So I was like, well, I think it would have more of an impact if we had a little bit more variety in the punch outs. Of course, if you don't have like punches, you can also use dies to make die cut shapes, just using whatever you have. And of course, I'm sure you're probably noticing like I'm trying to utilize every every little piece of paper that I possibly can to reduce Waste. I know that we're working with scraps here, but still at the end of the day, if we're finding a useful way to use them, you might as well, maximize their potential. So any of these like little free spaces that are left over where it won't make the punch out weirdly, I'm just using the punch outs to punch out extra punches. Okay, so the next supply that I don't use a lot that's in my stash is my distress crayons, and admittedly, I am not an expert with these. I probably have used them a handful of times or less. But I wanted to just be able to get myself like a little like sort of splotchy watercolory kind of background for these pieces that I have pulled out here. And to do that, I'm just kind of like laying down the crayon colors, and I really love how creamy they are. They do stay wet for a little bit. I do remember that much. So once I get the smudges down, I'm just using my finger to smear them, like blur them out a little bit to remove some of the harsher lines, which I am okay with, like the coloring lines as well. Like that kind of gives me a vintage vibe from like, remember in the 80s, like a lot of our clothes had like the coloring crayon kind of color marks, but I'm using every color that's in the pack just to make sure I use every single one. And once I have that done, you guessed it, I'm going to punch these out. You can do many other things with these if you don't want to punch out in shapes like I did, but I think they look so cute. So the next thing I did was I would use my border punch to punch out some of the sides of those because I thought that I would use them as tuck spots. And then I have these beige cardstock strips, and I thought it would be a cute idea to use our sprays on these. And I also know that spraying is kind of sort of technically like dyeing, even though this is the no buy no dye create on the fly series. I feel like this is a little bit more of a shortcut because you're able to like dye or spray these and they pretty much instantly dry. It's not like a whole big process like when you're coffee dyeing paper or tea dyeing paper. You have to get it to the right color that you like it to be so that your paper comes out, you know, the color that you want it to be. Then you have to dye it, then you have to wait for it to dry. This is just, it's a shortcut. It's a hack. So once I have my strips sprayed, I pulled out my old trusty dusty embossing machine that I got as a gift from G Marie's Scrap Shack. Sweet Rita gave me this little embossing machine and I love it. And the strips are a little bit longer than the embossing folder, so I just flipped it around. But look how cool that looks. Like you can see the metallic spray. I think it looks so cute with the embossing on there. It's a really nice little piece. All right, friends. Okay, so we made a dent. So here's what I have left out of the pile of like the solids that I pulled. That's what's left. What we have are a little pile of cutouts, and then you guys saw me do these where we kind of just use the distress crayons, and then I embossed some of those, not all of them, but some of them are embossed, just different shapes. These little rectangles, like I said, these are going to be for hinges, for flip outs and things like that. Here is the meat and potatoes. These are the bases of the tags. This is what came from only the solids pile. And I showed you guys a few of the things that I made. So now the next step would be using some of these decorative pieces. So, I guess I'm just going to get to it. You guys, there's so much here. There's no way that I can film all of it, but I will be sure to come back and show you like what I've done with these scraps here. These are all the ones that I have that are decorated. So I'll try and do some on the camera with you here, and then I will jump off and come back and finish, or come back finished, I guess. All right, so let's go ahead and just divvy them on up. So for here, let's see, I want to just do something kind of cool, I think. I'm going to glue a little piece like that, like a little rectangle, and put it like so. And I'll cut the excess. And then I'm going to repeat the same thing. And I'm gluing these edges as best as I can because I won't be stitching across this whole tag. It's on a cardstock piece, but it's a lighter piece of cardstock. Let's do it like this. Perfect. And let's see if we can get another here. I was trying to space it a little bit more evenly, but I went too far on that one, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Trim this up. And let's do a little bit on the top here. I'm going to glue on the bottom portion. I'll probably stitch around the perimeter of the tag, so like so. Oop. So this is one idea that I had, how you can use these strips, and you can mix and match the strips. You don't have to stick to the same strip. And then we can layer something on the top, like with an image or something when we get there. So this is still technically kind of like a base, or you could leave it like this. You could stitch around it and just leave it as is. But I think I want to layer like a focal point on top. It kind of makes me feel like Minnie Mouse a little bit. All right, so let's move on to another one. Let's see. I've got some of these. Let's do this, maybe like side pocket. But for this one, what I will do is I'm going to use one of my stencils and one of my distress inks here and get a little background image happening here. This is probably my oldest stencil, so it's kind of janky at this point, but it still does the job. This is one of my favorite ones too, which is why it's all janked out, but that's okay. Okay, got a little stenciling there, and I'm going to get some glue on this edge. Oh, and you know what? I want to distress on this piece here also. And perfecto. Actually, I need to right here a little bit. I didn't go all the way down. I didn't realize it was that long. Okay. I think I just got my sleeve in distress ink, but that's okay. And I'm going to slice this down. Cool. Oh, and then you know what? Distress around this edge also. Cool. That looks so cute. And we'll also get a focal image on there. Okay. Let's see if I can do at least one more with you guys here. I'm sorry that I just I don't have the space in my phone to be able to let me move these out of the way because they're gonna get confused. To stick with you guys for the full ride, but it's just, this is a lot, you guys. This is a lot. This is a couple hours worth of work here. So all right, so let's keep going. I like this. Also, let me dig into, and you know what I will do, like on my last clip, I will try and film some of the pieces that are, you know, where I'm trying to do something and maybe I want you guys to see it, but I'll just speed it up a little so that you guys can watch it in a little bit faster format. I'm just going to tear this and I'm going to glue a piece of this down. Okay. So we got it like that. And then I think I'll use this little piece here maybe to make a pocket. Or maybe I'll just do it like this. And then we'll just find something else to make a focal point. So this is kind of what I'm just going to be doing, just trying to figure out how to get this pile of decorative papers placed onto these tags. Or belly bands or whatever the case is that we have over here off to the side. All right. So next, what do I have here? Okay, so this one was intended to be like a pocket. I think I'll cut the top part of it like a tag. And let's see, I've got this here. I can do it like this, would be cute too. Yeah. Tear this side. And I'm going to glue the side edge and the bottom edge. And this other edge over here, I will be stitching on it, so I don't have to glue that part down so perfectly. Like so. And trim it up. Okay, so we have that. Where's my, there we go. And then we need something for here. Maybe can do like a little belly band right here. That would be kind of neat, maybe. Maybe this could be, it goes better this way. Do you have this piece? Ugh. It is chilly, you guys. I am cold right now. I will tell you that. I am cold. Okay. I think I'll just do this piece as like a little belly band in the front of the pocket. And actually, I'm gonna get this punched out. Okay, that's cute. Okay, and then we're gonna use this as a belly band. So let me trim it down. And I think I will also carry this over here. Okay. Yes. That's very cute. Okay. Let's glue this down. The edges. Cool. Okay. And then I'll stitch around it, and then you can write on the back with gel pen. That's going to be perfect. Okay. So we got these 3 so far. They're obviously not completely done, but we're getting usage out of our decorative paper pile now onto our base tags that we made. So let me move this. I'm trying to keep the area neat. Oh, and this one too. It's cute. Let's see, I'll do one more with you guys and then I'm gonna jet set. Okay, so here's one of the ones where I glued the pages across like that together. Let's see, I might just give one side a backing. then this side could be used for writing. And I'll trim these up with a big trimmer. So there's that one. Again, we'll put a focal point on the front. Let's see if I have another that I can continue to use here. Do this one. Today there's Super Bowl, so you know there's a lot going on today. I'm not going to be doing anything other than just hanging out here at home, but I was hoping to have this video posted today, but it looks like it's going to be going up tomorrow, so that's okay. So there's another one. Very good. Let's see. Let me see what else I've gotten here. So what did I do here? Okay, so here, so like for this one, I'll just show you what I would do. Use my stencil once again. Use my stencil. Oh my gosh. Oh, I want a corner around these, I think. Okay, like that, and then I will do the edge, but I want to round the corners. Hold on. Around the corners of this one, like so. Okay, and then from there, I would like to find me a piece. It's gonna kind of tie in with the look, maybe. This piece could work. So I'm gonna trim it down. And I'm going to use my same scissors so it has the same pattern. Like that, and I'm going to glue that piece down. Okay. Cool. All right, and this can go mounted onto a page, or it can stay like this and be used for writing on the back. Tuck something in back here. Very cute. I'll probably stitch around it so it has a little bit more decorative element to it. So that's that one. And I'm going to keep going here, you guys, but I'm going to go ahead and jump off the camera. I will come back on if I have something that's like really notable that I want to show you. Otherwise, we'll see you when I get all of this done. What I want to show you here is these are some of the tags that we glued the strips together horizontally, kind of like overlapping. And now I'm just going to cut the tops off so that they look more like a tag shape. But you can kind of see like when the lines here, they look like they're attached horizontally. So I thought that I would take some of these linear strips and add them to the tags vertically. And I thought that this would help keep the tags together
a little bit more nicely, especially if you're not going to be stitching around your tags. This is going to kind of hold it together, almost like a basket kind of sort of situation. It's not weaved, but it's still kind of like the same premise. Like each direction is holding the other together. I mean, they're glued, but you know what I'm saying. So, so I thought that I would come and add some of these like little strips, and I think this is gonna look really cute. So since all of these strips are going to be like present on the same tag, I thought it would make a little bit more sense to try and at least make these a little bit more cohesive. I know a lot during this project we've been practicing being quote unquote random with our selections, but for these I am trying to do things that kind of match a little bit more. Like you can kind of see I'm trying to keep like with the same colorway on each of these, and I love that these strips are pretty much all cut for like the same reasons. Like when I initially used them, they're cut for a specific reason, so a lot of them are the same. So the way that I was using these strips, it ended up being like so perfect, like very like a puzzle almost. It was really really cool. So it's my great intention to finish this video all in one go, but unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. This is going to have to be part one of two. So the next video, I will come back and basically just pick up kind of like from where we're leaving off here on this video. I couldn't do it. Like the video itself was originally like an hour and 25 minutes, which is wild, but I was able to get it trimmed down to just shy of an hour here for you guys. I couldn't imagine that you would want to watch an hour and a half video. So just to make it a little bit more palpable, I am breaking the videos up. But look how cute that looks. I think I've done a tutorial, not a tutorial, but maybe some videos like sharing this before, and I kind of get this idea from Nick the Booksmith when she was making, I don't remember what she called it, but she did a video on something like this. So that's where I personally originally saw this kind of idea, and I love it. I think it's a great usage of, I think it was Nick making Franken paper is what I think it was. So I'm going to call it quits here, guys. I hope you come back and watch the next part, but that is going to wrap it up for me for now. Be sure to stay tuned because you never know what direction this odd flock of ours is heading into. And until next time, toodaloo.